Welcome to Tales from the Flipside, bringing you another episode of Deal or Flipside. Alrighty, got to make that tie adjustment like right before, something. I don't know. How's everyone doing? Joe and I are getting back from Baltimore Comic-Con. Had a blast. But yeah, introduce yourselves.
This is Red Hood Comic, the only guy nobody was happy to see there in Baltimore.
Don't lie, Joe.
Yeah,
I was happy to see you.
Yeah, you were the only one. Like nobody else said they were happy to see me. So fuck them.
Nice. Well, it's Chris Colbert. Colbert's Comics on eBay. Colbert6218 on Instagram. I won't go through all the AKAs tonight. We'll say that for tomorrow night's show. But yeah, I got a couple auctions on eBay. What unfortunately wasn't able to make it to Baltimore, but definitely next year. But yeah, just living a dream.
Cool.
Hey, it's Mercenot. Catch me on YouTube. YouTube.com/Mercenot, and I'm wearing an Abercrombie sweatshirt that I bought, I believe, back in 2009.
Yeah, that vintage.
Nice.
I'm still wearing this bitch.
It still presents well. It's a little off-white sleeves. Off-white sleeves.
Logo centering is could be a little bit better, but overall solid.
I think this jacket's still from high school. I can't decide yet, but yeah. No, I'm just joking. But I will have a whatnot sale on Sunday for comic books, and this is going to be my giveaway.
Man, don't give that away, dude.
It's going to be like you get an entry for every $10 purchase you do. Why not?
Dude, that book is still going up, bro.
It's not like I don't have two.
Yeah.
All right. But anyways,
I'm just playing.
The reason why you're all here is for Deal or Flipside. So, as a little disclosure, before we started out, the first set of books are two books from Baltimore Comic-Con that Sean Bigleg presented. So, in full disclosure, both of these books did not sell, to my knowledge. So, just to give you a heads up, they're priced as is, and they were from the Tales booth. So, I just wanted, because he brought up the question, and I was like, man, that actually is a really good Deal or Flipside. So, let's go ahead and start it off with Captain Marvel number 17, second print, for sale for $6,000 versus the Ultimate Fallout number 4, 9.0 for $6,000. So hold up your signs for Captain Marvel for the 9.8, or for the Ultimate Fallout 4, hold up the Modern Playbook symbol. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, I guess I'm the odd man out on this one. All right, I'll let y'all decide.
I'll take that. I'll take it. So like that 9.0, that's a 9.4. I know that because we got screwed on that grade. So I had Big Leg look at it, and he says it's a 9.4. The only problem is, like, you're at the mercy of how they're gonna, like, they could screw you again. But if you get it and it comes back a 9.4, then it's a different ball game. That book, a 9.8, just sold for $31K. That book is not going to go down. And like, I know Kamala Khan is a thing. I'm sitting on some Kamala Khan gold right now, and I ain't poo-pooing her shit. But like Miles, he's a rock star. And like he's like the main event. He's the main attraction. And that ain't gonna change for like 25 years, bro. Like it's a thing. And that's because he's just been a cartoon. they get a dynamic character, like actor to play that guy, it's game over. Good luck. That book is gone. Good luck.
I guess it's something that we've all said that like when you're buying modern books, like sometimes it's 9.8 or bust, and like that's what it is for me on this one. That even though it's a second print, it's pretty rare, pretty hard to find. Second print at a 9.8, it's hard to pass on. I mean, I know that Kamala Khan's first appearance is very like spread thin and throughout like so many books that it's hard to say. It's obviously Marvel point one, but like at the same time, like what this is the first cover, so it's hard to pass on that. And then to me also the reason why I passed up on the Ultimate Fallout 4 was mainly because like how many facsimiles have we seen over this last like 2 months? And, shout out to Dennis for actually getting Jurjovic. Sorry if I mispronounced that.
Oh, you said it beautiful.
Okay, cool. Finally. But anyways, it's awesome that he actually got him to do the work for that versus like some of these other retailers that copycat it to say it politely.
Those other covers are booty.
Exactly. So I mean, like to actually have a real virgin version of that is amazing. And and then that's why I settled, like, because I knew I wasn't going to spend $6,000 on the 9.0 just personally. I could settle with that, and I feel like that took a lot of people out of the market to buy the 1 in 25.
Oddly enough, I'm noticing that those virgins are going down while the original has gone up. I've noticed that because I think I spent like $50 on a copy of that virgin, just for the hell of it. And I noticed like I'm seeing copies are on eBay right now for $40. You know what I mean?
I'm still pissed off at that book, dude. God damn it, dude.
Well, I mean, then what? Also, there's been a bunch of 9.9s pop up on the census and stuff like that too, which is impressive. Because I want to say Dennis got 2, Ninth Wonder got 2 or 1, and then his presser got 2. So I mean, that's just like 5 from people that we know.
Well, to that argument, I would say so. There's a lot of I wouldn't call them facsimiles. I would call them like counterfeit Michael Jordan rookies, that are like heavily printed. Well, but the 86 Fleer Jordan continues to be kind of like this Miles Morales. You know what? That's a good comparison. Like, he's the Michael Jordan of superheroes right now, man. Like, I'm just saying. I mean,
it's not just because of his shoes, is it?
No, it's not because of the shoes. I mean, like, you want to talk about an influential like character, man. You can like put Levi jeans on Miles, man, and it'll probably sell out, man. Levi 616 for Marvel or something. I don't know.
I was going to make a point. Think of a like a Silver Age book that sells like for $30,000 in a 9.8, and then you have the opportunity to buy a 9.0 copy. Are you going to pay $6,000 for it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is it worth it?
Depending on who the character is, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of people that buy AF-15s in a lower grade just to have it.
Yeah,
that's true.
That seems to be just a great book to have. Like the Ultimate Fallout 4, that variant, it just seems to be like doesn't even matter the grade, just to have it and show it off.
I don't know. Does Nico still have it?
That's true.
He sell it? Did he sell that book?
That would have to be a Nico question. I don't have the answer for it, but I assume I was there Sunday, and I want to say I did still see it on the wall when we were packing up.
I'm surprised he put it up.
Yeah, I know, right?
I was surprised too.
Maybe he was just trying to like get as much money as possible at this con because it's a big con and there's a lot of buyers. So, all right.
You know what I told him? I said, don't even price it. Have somebody ask about it, and then tell them, "Well, make me an offer." And once they make you an offer, you got them. He said, "Well, I'll give you $5,000." Well, like I was looking for 5,500. And then you're negotiating, right? But he put $6,000. People are just like, "Oh, $6,000, 9.0, oh." But then they forget that. Then they forget that 9.8 is selling for $30,000. You know what I mean? So like that's an awesome buy at 6,000 for a 9.0.
You could always put an OBO sign on it. I'm just joking. Alrighty, let's go ahead and move on to our next set of books. I thought this was a pretty interesting comparison. So we have a Amazing Spider-Man number 4, the Humberto Ramos variant CGC 9.8 that sold for $761, versus the Silk number 1 CGC 9.8 Comics Pro Sketch variant that sold for $810 at a 9.8. All right, hold up your signs in 3, 2, 1. Ooh, we're all unanimous on this one. All right. Does anyone want to play devil's advocate for the Comics Pro variant while I set up the poll?
I mean, I just don't like show variants like in any form. And I mean, yeah, Comics Pro is technically not a show, but like it's same premise.
No,
I was so scared because I had a CBCS 9.8, and I said, man, I got to get it in a CGC, so I did the
crossover,
and I got a 9.8, and I was like, oh, thank God, let me just put it up, But that's low. I remember those were selling like for over 800 for a while. So, but that's a character that, man. What do you think, Chris? You think part 2, the Spider-Verse?
Maybe not part 2, just because at this point, I think they want to flesh out kind of the love affair between him and
Spider-Gwen.
And Spider-Gwen more. That's why I definitely, even though it didn't necessarily grab to a 9.8, I still believe in that Spider-Man, was it 18? The Kiss cover, the 14, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But I still so there still is whispers and murmurs of the Spider-Women. Because this is something I was just thinking about the other day. How many of these things that have leaked out over the last 5 years ultimately ended up being true? Like, where not necessarily plot details, because that could be just some random jack off on like 4chan. But like, how often when something was mentioned in the last 5 years of like speculation had to come to fruition? Young Avengers was like something that was talked about like 5 years ago. The Spider-Woman movie that caused that book to get super hot about 3 years ago, like this book and that Spider-Woman cover. And so there's still whispers and murmurs of Olivia Wilde doing a Spider-Woman like something, whether it be live action or animated. I think still's got a lot of legs. I think it makes more sense to go after her first appearance, especially one of the rare variants of her first appearance, because there's the regular cover, which doesn't have her on it. There's this guy, and then there's that J. Scott Campbell. There's 2 J. Scott Campbell variants as well.
That have Black Cat on it, right?
Yeah, which I'm not a fan of, because this is like a cover appearance and a first appearance. So it's kind of a no-brainer. So that's why I'm all about this book, and I still think she's got a lot of legs and a lot of opportunity. It may not happen tomorrow, but I think if you are able to like sit and wait on this book, you'll definitely realize gains over $761.
Yeah, I mean, and I think it's a 1 in 10, if I'm not mistaken. Someone in the chat correct me if I'm wrong on that.
It is a 1 in 10.
Yeah,
cool. Thank you, Carter. Yes. All right. Yeah, I mean, and then that book was so undervalued. I mean, honest, for such a long time, like that, people could have been stacking these for days.
Yeah,
but
I struggled to sell one at like $200. Like I think I traded it away, ages ago. But like that was dumb on my part. I should have held on to the book. I should have had more faith. But I just don't trust Sony.
Yeah. Do you think
I mean,
they leaked all that? Like, oh, we're going to make this movie and this movie and this movie. And it just, right when Tom Holland was like, they weren't going to do the Spider-Man and everything was falling apart. And they said, okay, well, we're going to come out with this all these spider people. And then Marvel came back and they had to sit down and I guess they kind of worked things out.
Yeah.
But that could have been just a ploy just to get them at the bargaining table.
well,
I think all that stuff is still real. But Aaron, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to ask, do you have a little bit more faith in Sony now after Venom 2?
Well, I don't have faith in Sony. I have faith in Marvel, and basically, it's like, here, make this character work. Like that's what they did. It was like,
Okay.
it's
Gotcha.
was that that movie Kicking and Screaming. All right, so our game plan is get the ball to the Italians. Like, it's
so it's almost like they're copycatting, I guess, Fox to an extent. Like it's like no matter what we put out, Marvel will buy it. Kind of attitude.
Yeah,
more or less.
well, I think it's a realization that you're like, you know what, we can't do this on like we don't have the machine, so let's feed our characters. Like we still own the characters, and yeah, we're putting up majority of the money, but we still stand to make so much more money if we feed our characters into the Marvel machine. So I now have more faith in the fact that all these characters, like we don't know what, because Joe brought up a very good point. We don't know what was resolved in those negotiations. We clearly see that Venom was part of that, but we don't know what else got negotiated to make its MCU appearance. So
That's true.
Sinister Six could be MCU. All this Spider-Woman stuff can be MCU. So yeah, I mean, and even if it's not, I mean, it'll still make you some money. It may not necessarily hold value past the movie, but as long as you're smart enough to unload it before that first release day happens, then you'll probably still be able to profit. So.
Hey Chris, you remember when you told me that Venom was gonna suck? You were right. You were right, bro.
But the book's still holding value. People.
Oh yeah. But like you said, the movie was going to be trashed, and you were right, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping that I wasn't going to be, but like just everything pointed towards that they just weren't going to be able to pull this one out. But hey, nobody cared. Everybody was like, all sins were forgiven the second that Tom Holland showed up. Like, spoiler alert, but fucking the movie's been out for what now, a month? Like, you're watching the Speculation Channel. Tough shit. Like,
man.
Oh, darn. I still haven't seen it yet. And I don't plan to see it.
Spoiler alert. Venom's in the MCU. Tom Holland shows up on screen. Everybody, all sins were forgiven at that point. Like, everybody was just like, I don't care what amount of my time you just wasted in this last hour and a half. I got to see, Venom interact with a TV screen with Tom Holland on it. I'm good. It was worth my money. So yeah, that's how that worked out, and people still kept wanting to see the movie. So good job on Sony for knowing how to what horse to hitch their wagon to.
Cool. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our next set of books. So how about some Moon Knight action? So we have the Moon Knight number 3, CGC 9.8, the Varegi variant. I don't know if I said that right, but it's the 1 in 25 that sold for $736. Versus a raw copy of Werewolf by Night number 32 that sold for $719. I will also put an asterisk on this and say that a CGC 1.8 of the Werewolf by Night 32 sold for like $780 something, like a day or two later.
Wow!
After that Werewolf raw copy sold for, so I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Flipside for the 1 in 25 Modern Playbook symbol for first appearance. 3, 2, 1.
I don't know.
I know, right?
I don't know.
Well, like if you press out that Werewolf by Night,
Mm,
can't you get like 1,500 for it? Like if
Mhm.
you make it
I'm
look
pretty
better.
sure about it.
And that's right now money. Like we're not like
Yeah.
that did not get delayed, so it will be coming out next year. So yeah, and you know what's going to happen. Like the second people see like an actual trailer for that Werewolf by Night, that Moon Knight, it's going to be game over.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Oscar Isaac is a phenomenal actor. For anybody who watched Dune, he was the best part of it. So,
Yeah, Dune gave me a headache, bro. Bro, like I got off the plane and I felt a little bit jet lagged, and watching Dune made it worse. I thought I had COVID, dude. Like, god damn, dude.
I mean, it's a dense movie, definitely. But I brought it up though to make the point that like, even given shit material like X-Men Apocalypse, Oscar Isaac shines. Like he's just good at what he does. So, and he was excited. Like he's legitimately excited about being Moon Knight. So
Hey,
I can only
dude.
imagine what he's going to do for that character.
And Oscar Isaac can dance, dude. Did you ever see him in what was it, Machina, or what was it?
I
La
have not.
Machina?
I have not. I've heard that. Yeah, he can show out on a dance floor.
Yeah, hell yeah, bro.
I mean, he's Guatemalan, so he's got rhythm. But so that's my argument is that go for the first appearance. Like moderns are cool, but don't waste your money on the rare moderns if it's not a first appearance. If the alternative is buying even a beat up first appearance, somebody's gonna buy that book from you.
Now to play devil's advocate though, and like that's a pretty like ghost book, that Moon Knight #3.
Yeah.
Like, like if the trailer comes out, I mean, the way I see it, like you could both double your money, like when a trailer comes out. I mean, I don't know.
No, I mean no, you're absolutely right. Me and my girlfriend were actually having this conversation recently about like which of a book of a character. So we were talking about Shuri, and we were talking about that J. Scott Campbell cover is roughly about the same price as, or it was two of the J. Scott Campbells equaled out to being her first appearance, and it was like, well, which one makes more sense to have, two of the J. Scott Campbell covers, or two of the She Becomes the Black Panther book, or her first appearance, or one of the first appearances. And it's like, well, in theory, you're playing the game of which ship is going to rise faster. And this is the same scenario you're in. It's like, which one of these two ships is going to rise faster? The rare variant, or people who become aware of Moon Knight in the first place and can at least remember Werewolf by Night 32. And I think that more people will be able to just, like commoners to the hobby, will be able to just remember Werewolf by Night 32 over Moon Knight 3, Volume 3, 1 in 25. Like it's who are you trying to sell your books to is really the question. And with playing off of TV and movie spec, you're trying to sell to the common man. Like the reason why Arrow's books are selling, the reason why Adam Warlock books are selling, like are speculators hoping to eventually unload on the common man being excited about it. So I still say go with that first appearance because that's what random person walking past your booth is going to recognize that cover. Most people are not going to know there's anything special about that Moonlight unless you stick a sticker on it to tell them.
Oh yeah, that's like super hard to find, or
yeah, rare, 1 in 25, ghost book. You're like, what does that mean?
Ghost book. 1 of 5 of the census or something like that. I don't know what the actual census number, so don't quote me on that.
Yeah, but you get my point though. Is that like that's like that's lost on the commoner who's walking past your booth, or the person who's trying to like invest some money into comics. The person who is like, oh man, I just saw that Moon Knight series on Disney Plus. That shit was awesome. You got any Moon Knight first appearances? Like they know how to say that. So
yeah. All right. Let's go. Let me end the poll and see where we're at. So we're at 83% of the Werewolf by Night 32 raw. And then there's just something I just noticed on the picture in the top left corner. There's a big Sharpie marker over the price and issue number. It has a /10.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm gonna change my pick. Hell yeah, dude! Like, unless
I
you
mean,
could get the artist to like sign his name on that Sharpie.
do a
you're
remark
biased.
over it or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
It
won't
looks
get
like
on that.
it looks like one of those grease pencils.
It kind of does look like that.
Yeah, and that will lift off. I mean, Joe, you know that. You've got the shelf in those books before.
Oh man, it's tough.
All right, let's get some DC action going on. How about a Wonder Woman number 28, 9.4, steampunk variant, the 1 in 25, versus Zatanna number 16, CGC 9.8, Hughes cover. I see Carter likes this.
I'm biased, and I'll explain why once we put these up.
Man, Adam Hughes can draw some legs, right, bro?
Oh, cool. I appreciate it, Dennis. This is an actual tough one, huh? All right. So for the Wonder Woman, hold up the Flipside symbol. For the Zatanna, hold up the Modern Playbook symbol. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, all right, Carter. Let's go with Carter and Chris.
All right, pop it off, Carter.
Okay. Now I can't see ever spending $6.99 on a 9.4, like all like that. But I've never seen that Wonder Woman 28 in person ever.
Yeah,
like that's a book I've been searching for that book for damn near 10 years.
Yeah, you ain't gonna find it.
Yeah, and I have yet to see it. I'll take that back. I've been searching for it for about 7 years. How about that? And I have yet to see this book in person. And
Chris, you better not pull that book out from behind you, bro.
For $6.99, I don't know. That's an interesting price. I'm not quite sure what a 9.8 would go for, but I remember just tripping over Zatanna number 16s, and it's a great cover. It's an amazing cover, but like I said, I've tripped over those books so many times, and I don't know. I just feel that I'll be able to find one somewhere. You know what I mean? If I dig hard enough, I'll find another raw copy of Zatanna number 16, but I don't think I'll ever find a raw copy of Wonder Woman 28 variant. And that's my reasoning.
All right. Valid reasoning. So funny that you mentioned that book. There's a local LCS that has a 9.8 sitting in their glass case right now.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm just like, and it's like not even in their like really, really cool shit glass case. It's in like the secondary, like here's like the Adam Hughes, like, you know, or JG Jones, or like random modern, like that Catwoman cover, that like classic, like soaking wet, like Catwoman cover when she's holding up her taking her mugshot. Like it's like in that case, because everybody just looks over it. Even I've looked over it before because it's just not my bag. And so for that reason, partially, I'm like, oh, it's special. Don't get me wrong, but it ain't that special. The Zatanna book, I think, has more legs. Like Wonder Woman's got a lot of great covers, a lot of ghost covers, and things of that nature. I just sold a Zatanna 15, that all black cover, in an 8.5 for like $100. Mm-hmm. And I've got another one coming back from CGC. I'll fingers crossed on higher grades. I just feel like this Zatanna run is really some of the best, both like stories about her, and also only second to like Everyday Magic. Like some of the best story, like one of the best storylines about her, and hands down some of the best cover art. And with her still like having a planned, TV show or movie or something of that nature coming, I think if you're not buying, or either, I mean, the only reason why I downloaded the 8.5 is because it was, a shit copy. But yeah, if you're not buying Zatanna, that's one of the few DC books I think it may not be a bad idea to spec on. Because she does, other than her first appearance, which isn't a great, Z's in love with that book, and I think he's got a pretty high grade copy of one, like a 9.4 or 9.6. But generally speaking, her first appearance as a ghost in high grade So I think people are going to be looking at these type of books, which are these more iconic covers of her, as where they're really going to want to put their money. Because this is something that you could throw up on your wall. Like Adam Hughes, cool people. Like I've met him a couple of times. His local LCS was my old LCS. So great guy, always down to sign a book, and just like does amazing artwork. And yeah, this type of stuff that you can throw up on the wall and not be ashamed to have people come to your house and see you have a comic book hanging up on the wall. Like I think she's just going to resonate with people. And, if they do get around to doing Justice League Dark, I mean, she'll be spearheading it. So I think it just makes more sense from a profitability standpoint. Now, if you're collecting for your PC, go with the Wonder Woman because it is more of a ghost, as, Merce mentioned. But if you're trying to flip something, more people are going to know who Zatanna is, then more people are going to be wanting to chase a Wonder Woman steampunk variant. That's just my opinion.
Good stuff. Red, care to add anything?
Nah, I mean, like, if Gal Gadot ever dressed up like that in a Wonder Woman movie, we'd probably be talking about that cover a little bit more. You know what I mean? But, like, I'm biased. I'm, like, a nut for Adam Hughes. And, like, I was in Baltimore digging for Adam Hughes ghost books, and, like, I scored some, but, like, I'm the wrong person to ask. I see a drawing like that. I mean, look at those legs. Those are phenomenal. Not many artists can draw legs like that. I mean, he is just a special talent. And I think that he's been underappreciated for a long time. I think now you're starting to see him pump out some, like, what was the last book that he did? The Gun Honey. Like, he's letting you know,
yeah.
like, I'm the best. Like,
Well, I mean, he's had a couple of covers that like have recently popped off too.
Oh yeah. He's had that one other ghost, right? That real short. It was a what do they call it? When everybody GoFundMe or whatever crap.
Pop Sugar or Pop something.
Yeah, or was it a Kickstarter cover?
Yeah, Kickstarter. There you go. It was one of those Kickstarters. Either way, like, dude, Adam Hughes, bro. I like J.G. Jones, but Adam Hughes, like, but that's just me. Like, that's where I kind of like, I'm gonna sit this one out. I'll pick my book, and I really, you can't go wrong either way. Like, if you want the Wonder Woman, it's a good investment. If you want that Zatanna, it's already a 9.8. It's not gonna. I can't see it going down.
Yeah, unless they kill the Zatanna.
Unless they kill Zatanna off.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see what the audience chose. 62% chose Zatanna, and 37% chose the Wonder Woman out of 16 votes. Alrighty, let's go ahead and move on to our next set. So how about some Spawn action? I kind of just put this up there because the Spawn 300 sign kind of surprised me in price. Like,
hell yeah.
So so a Spawn number 300. CGC signature series 98.
I mean, did he sign it with his left hand? You know what I mean?
Like, who knows? Sulfur.
That might get a little more like, it's a different signature. It's the same man, but he signed it with his other hand. Right? That could be a thing.
Well, so one thing
the green.
Well, so one thing I remembered was on when he had that last signing at CGC in-house, like, he started doing where he didn't spell out his full name Todd, and he just put the letter T and then McFarlane. Versus on some, he wrote out Todd fully, and then McFarlane the same. So, but yeah, so a Spawn number 300 signature series 9.8 sold for $816.05. And then a Spawn number 1 CGC 9.8 sold for $820. Yeah, so flip side for the Spawn 1,
Jesus,
Spawn 300. Or we could just go sideways and not choose either or.
Neither.
Yep.
Neither.
This is money laundering. Like I'm looking at GPA, and the last sale in October was 618 for the. So again, unless somebody absolutely, because I know people were paying a premium because I sent off a bunch of Spawn ones and got a bunch of 9.8s when he did that last signing. That what was that, early last year? Yeah, so I know people were paying a premium for the full Todd McFarlane, and they were also, if you got the green on, the same shade of green that you have on the Spawn, people were paying a premium, but like a $200 premium.
Well, so I participated in that signing, and I submitted some books for a friend, and there was no rhyme or reason why he wrote Todd fully or just the T.
Yeah, so, it was arbitrary.
Yeah. I think it was just completely random.
But those two factors, though, does that really make this worth $200 more than a comparable 9.8 Spawn one? Because again, this is not a newsstand; it's a direct edition, and so the only things it's really got going for it is Todd McFarlane versus T McFarlane and the green. Like, is that really worth an extra $200 for you?
No.
Yeah. So, and then, I mean, the other book, the
300, like how overprinted is that? I mean, if it was a 227, I might have considered it, but not even really. Like, it's like McFarlane, like,
is that the Alamo Draft House one?
No, not even. It's just a regular, like, you can buy this on the newsstand, like, or whatever. I mean, from your LCS.
What was that, like the B or C cover or something like that?
No, that was the A cover.
Wait, this was the A. No, you are absolutely. Yeah, you're right. This was the A cover.
Yeah, that's what shocked me the most. Like, how the hell is this selling for $816? Like, and I want to say, like, it wasn't the only one. Like, there's been multiples. Like,
yeah, I didn't even bother sending in even like the 1 in 25 or the 1 in 50 that I had to be signed because I was just like they weren't going for anything. Like, even with his signature, I was like, okay, best case scenario, this adds like $150 to the value of the book. But still, those 1 in 25 and those 1 in 50s were so overprinted. I was like, the book wasn't worth ratio. So I was like, who the fuck? Like, what?
Well, and then at the same time, like, I want to say I sold the Alamo Draft House one like 3 months ago, and it wasn't even close to like even half of this.
No, and that's actually rare. Like,
yeah,
this is the open order cover that everybody and their mother sent in at the signing. Like, nah, dog. I don't. This don't.
Hey, I think you're onto something, man. It could be money laundering.
Oh, okay.
Should we call the cops?
Sorry, Dennis. Okay, so it was the D cover. I mean, it's not like there was like not 1,000 covers to choose from, anyways. But
yeah, I mean, this was still open order, wasn't it? Like,
it wasn't a qualifier and wasn't an incentive. It was open to order, and you know that out of all the covers, that people probably ordered this the most.
Yeah.
I mean, I would guess.
All right, so here we go. D cover signed by Just Todd. Let's see. What do these normally go for? I mean, all right, D cover $275. Fuck out of here. $275. Fuck out of here. Like, no.
Is that just for a blue label?
No, that was SS signed by Todd. September 2021, last sale $275. These never got above $320.
Wow.
So fuck out of here. Something don't smell right.
Okay, so these are Puckeria foot auctions. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Yeah, I think I just put like I think I randomly just put title and then put
ain't nobody holding this against you.
Hey, you know what, bro? Somebody bought that book.
Ooh. Hey, what's up, Lucas?
You. Hey, Pacino.
Oh shit.
What's going on?
Yo.
Nothing, I saw you in Baltimore, dog. You didn't even tell me hi.
You fucked up. You put the link in there, and I was done with the Blind Adam show. Awesome. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I saw you in Baltimore, Lucas. You didn't even tell me hi. I said hi.
No,
and you walked right by me.
What the fuck?
Kiss my ass.
I gave you a hug and everything, man.
No.
I bypassed my own COVID. I bypassed my COVID freaking restrictions, and I hugged everybody. I was like, I'm probably gonna die. Let me give everybody a hug.
I love you, dog.
Yeah, It was funny. I ran into Lucas like the first day of the con, like what 9 in the morning or something like that. That was a funny story. So I stopped and started talking to him, and like there was still like 30 minutes before they were even gonna let people in, and then some guy, like 2 people behind him, were like, you know there's a line, right? And it's like, dude, I'm not here to cut in line. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm here to talk to a friend. Like,
absolutely. You should have told him, do you know who the fuck I am? I'm Aaron goddamn you, damn it.
I mean, if he got one of our dollars, I'm sure he's watching now at this point. No, I'm just joking.
In your face, baby.
But anyways, let's go ahead and move on to our next set of books. I thought this was a kind of interesting one. So X-Men number 100, CGC 9.6, that sold for $9.67, newsstand, like it matters. And then a G.I. Joe special number 1, CGC 9.8, that sold for $9.92.
Oh, that's easy.
How many of these did you see?
Which one? The G.I. Joe special number 1? At least like 10.
I saw both of these, and you know, I saw some of those small number 1s that you had on the previous slide as well for like $300, $400, $9.8, and I was like, man, what were, I don't know what the people or the retailers in BalticCon was smoking. But they were smoking all types of crazy stuff, man.
I mean, people trying to get eBay money in person. That's what it is.
Yeah, I'm talking about 3rd or 4th prints of like the Miles Morales, but let's stay on this one. This one, the X-Men number 100. I saw somebody trying to sell this one for $5,000.
Are you serious?
Yes.
In what grade?
It wasn't a 9.6. I can tell you that.
That's funny.
I was like,
I think I know.
9.8 at that price.
I think I know which booth you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's because like they had the same books up the entire con, no matter what.
Yeah, they were still there.
Yeah. All right, but let's see with the panel which one you would pick. So hold up your Flipside sign for the X-Men 100, or the Modern Playbook symbol for the G.I. Joe. 3, 2, 1. And then Lucas, you can say which one you would purchase at this price point.
I'm broke, so I wouldn't buy any of these. It's like, yeah. I mean, well, see, G.I. Joe, the Marvel G.I. Joe, so that's the first appearance of G.I. Joe?
No.
Excuse me, first appearance of Snake Eyes?
No, because nope. It's just a special. It's a special missions issue.
No, so that book is an interesting book. If I'm not mistaken, it was a Todd McFarlane story that never got printed. So I think he did a couple of issues, and this was one issue that did not get printed, and they gave it to a different artist. And so they still had that in the archives, and they released this story in that book. I could be wrong.
All right,
you're 100% correct.
Thank
and
you.
On top of that, they got their best Todd McFarlane ripoff artist to do the cover to make it look like Spidey.
Todd,
make it look like a Spidey homage.
Right? It makes like Snake Eyes taking the shit.
Yeah.
So what makes it worth $1,000?
It's low printed.
Low print run, and on top of that,
don't play me. Don't play me.
And on top of that,
you know I don't play that shit.
That's true.
Top of that,
I don't play that shit. Low print run. So the fuck what?
The worst.
I'm sorry. I don't know if I can cuss on it, but don't play me.
I think we're far enough.
The worst motherfucking part is that these things fall apart easy.
Yeah,
like the spine split and like I think staple pops and all that kind of shit. So yeah, I mean, yeah.
And I think you could find them in Walmart packs back in the day, if I'm not mistaken.
You know what? Yeah. I saw Lucas get mad, and I remember doing a flip side on Drunken Chat when we busted up that Powerpuff Girl. Like, so I ain't even messing with Lucas on this.
like I'm not mad. I'm just trying to understand. Like maybe I'm street stupid, which is very likely. I'm just trying to understand. Like
So that
okay,
story that I told about that book, there's a lot of people that don't know that. You know what I'm saying? And if you tell them that, that makes a big difference. So this was an unpublished story in the GI Joe canon, right? Of that comic book run, unpublished, original art, right? That's a thing, right? That makes it a little more unique. So than just the cool cover, and that it's a low print run. It adds a little more heat to the book, and
Well,
and you know,
but $1,000.
I mean,
yeah, I
those
know.
McFarlane completionists, man. Like,
I hear you. I mean, I think a real true value, like maybe about $500, in my opinion. You're wrong. They had Todd do the interiors. He submitted it. They hated it. They had someone else do it and released it. After Todd left to shove it in his face, they had someone mock his style for. Okay.
I thought
Thanks,
that's
Dennis.
what we said.
Yeah, that's what I said, Dennis.
yeah.
It's all good.
What it boils down to is that, like, we may not be the audience for a G.I. Joe special book. Like, for us, none of us give it. I don't think give that big of a shit about G.I. Joe.
I disagree. I have 2 copies myself, but they're not 9/8.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
man.
I don't know. X-Men 100 is, I mean, it's a milestone X-Men book. I mean, like, yeah, there's 1,000 X-Men books now, but like at the time, it was a fight to make it to 100 for them. They almost got canceled like 5 times during their first 100 run. And I mean, it's the old team versus the new team. Yeah, I mean, I think this is just one of those books where it's like, yeah, nothing super special happens in it other than it being a milestone book. But still, I think with the future of the X-Men, destined to happen in the MCU, getting older X-Men keys, 100 and less books, or even I'd say honestly sub 200, 250 books for the X-Men, because there was a lot of things that happened during Uncanny from like 200 to like 300. There was a lot of first appearances and things of that nature. I think it's a good time to have X-Men books, and people are willing to pay a premium for it because they're only going to go up once these characters start making it into the MCU.
Well,
I like this book. I love, or as far as X-Men 100 goes, I like this book a lot. I like this book for my personal collection. I just don't care about having it in a 9/6. Like it just doesn't appeal to me. Even like to sell it later, it's just like I don't care. But as far as the G.I. Joe, that, like I said, that thing just falls the fuck apart like really easily. So, yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry.
Well, the one thing I was going to say, the main reason why I put on the G.I. Joe book was that, to me, like, it's kind of surprising to see the prices of, Snake Eye books, Storm Shadow books, like, retain their price even after a shitty movie.
I know, dude.
Those, like, since the announcement of that movie, prices have steadily increased in price. And even when it was released, like, no one cares still, and those books are still like retain. It may have taken a slight dip, but it's still like floating around the same area. And I don't ever think it's going to return back down to like what it was like 2 or 3 years ago, but I could see it dip down a little bit more until like they announce like if they are gonna continue world building in that, and that's what surprised me. But X-Men definitely does have a bigger upswing because we all know that they're eventually going to be introduced into the MCU.
Well, and here, check this shit out. So I just happened to look at GPA real fast. And yeah, somebody actually got a deal at 967 if you want to look at what the 90-day average is. The 90-day average is almost $1,100 for that book.
For which one? The 100?
Yeah, for 100. So here, guess on what a 9.8 in that book goes for.
Probably usually like 1400.
Last sale, 4 Gs.
Oh,
Get
wow.
out of here. Get out of here.
90-day average, 3 Gs.
So that would be more in tune with what I saw at Baltimore Con, where the dude was trying to sell it for 5 Gs.
Yeah, actually, like at $500, you're getting a 9.0. You know, you're getting a 9.2 at $500 for that book. So, I mean, I think that's one of the first times that we get like the old team and the new team prior to issue 100, because 94 they're still, or 94 they're still, it's predominantly new team because the old team is still doing their X Factor shit. So yeah, I think it's got that going for it as well. It's like, other than Giant Size where they go save them, I think this is one of the few times that you get the entirety of the old X-Men and new X-Men in one book.
Foom 10. That cover.
You know what truly disturbs me about the G.I. Joe book?
What's that?
Is that piece of shit is worth, that people are buying that, and it's worth more than G.I. Joe #1.
Yeah,
Oh, that's crazy.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
That makes no fucking sense to me. Now, is it the first G.I.
first
Joe?
appearance.
G.I. Joe? No, I mean G.I. because there was like G.I. Joes like from like the 50s and 60s and shit.
Yeah.
But still, the G.I. Joe American Hero should be worth more than this.
Well,
I got an idea.
Doesn't the last issue of G.I. Joe go for more than #1?
Yeah, because again, that's the scarcity thing.
Yeah, and this is towards the end of the run as well, right?
Possibly. I mean, I think this is definitely the early '90s book because of the Marvel Comics logo and everything.
Have a fan like read the script before you try and make a shitty movie. You know, like did you guys see that?
They all claim to be
movie?
fans. That's the problem.
God,
they all claim
man.
you if you listen to they're like, yeah, I'm a freaking fan, and we got all the fans in a room, and we all remember watching the cartoon and shit, and it looks nothing like the shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because they're lying.
Hey, everyone's gonna get a job somehow.
Like this. I'll put it to you: the guy that directed Rogue One, he was a fucking fan of Star Wars, and what you got a great movie. Now I don't know what happened with the trilogy. Like they like deliberately tried to like ruin Star Wars, man.
They handed it off to people who thought they were better than the fans of Star Wars.
Yeah. Well, like this is becoming a thing. They go, you know what? I bet you the fans think we're going to do this. Nope. We're going to do the opposite, and we're going to fuck them up. That's like becoming like Game of Thrones. Like, what else did they shit on? This Snake Eyes movie. Like,
the Snake Eyes movie put me to sleep.
Man, isn't that amazing, dude? Like, you thought it was going to like just be the shit, had a good soundtrack. I'm on a new level.
So the one thing I learned from this slide is don't end your eBay auction at the end of a major con that everyone that's gonna want to buy your book is at.
Yeah,
is traveling. Yeah. So all right, let's go ahead and move on to our next slide. All right, so I thought this was kind of interesting. So we have a DC Detective Comics number 12 CBCS 7.0 unrestored that sold for $6,125 versus a Detective Comics 31 restored. So the restoration includes a missing. It's a married page on the first page. This is a restoration cover, and I don't remember what else. But it sold for $6,000, and
damn.
Yeah. So shout out to Doc Joe because he wanted me to try to find a Detective Comics 31, and this was the best I could do by just searching through eBay real quick. So, and then why not compare another Detective Comics that's pre-Batman?
Yeah, that's easy for me. The Defective Comics number 31. That's a classic cover to me. So I would go with that one all day for
Even
$6,000 for a non-grade. You know,
reproduction cover, you're okay with that? And married pages?
well, you said, well, on your slide it says restored. Are we talking about reproduced or restored?
So, I mean, it's graded as restored, but when I read closer into the slides of the actual other pictures, it's a reproduction cover, and then it has married pages.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Not for no 6Gs.
I
Six
mean,
racks.
yeah, that's what someone paid for it.
I mean,
They didn't
dude,
read. They didn't read that shit.
I mean, even yeah, honestly, they did because
You guys are fucking on my OCD. We're not holding up the sign.
Okay, yeah. All right, so hold up your signs in 3, 2, 1. Sorry about that. All right, Chris.
All right,
Yeah.
so now we have the signs. Yeah, so this shit's selling at $6,000. All right, a 1.0, fuck that, a 0.5 complete, a complete-ish 1.5. July of last year, $20,000.
Shucks.
A C1 1.0, $14,000 back in 2015. Like this book was commanding $14,000 and $15,000 $6 years ago. If you can get you a complete, like a 1.5, 1.8, you're talking a $33,000 to $40,000 book.
I tell you what you do, right? You know what to do. You buy that book, you send it back, and have them remove all the restoration.
There won't be a
so
book
if
left.
they got to tear that fucking page out. They go, no problem. They tear that page out that was married, like get you a 0.5, and you'll probably double your fucking money.
Yeah, but it's a reproduction cover too. You got to remember.
Oh,
that.
it is.
Okay, so the cover
then take it apart completely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's just pages out of it,
sell
right?
fucking pages. You'll make your money back and then some.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so then it's and then the pages are married, so it's like several different copies put together to make this complete copy, I guess.
Jesus Christ, dude.
I mean, it's Frankenstein's book, but still, like, this is probably the best you're going. This is the best you're going to do for under $10,000. Just being real about it.
Yeah.
I would pay $6,000 for the person who did this to be dragged into the street and shot.
Oh, I forgot to mention that one of the pages was also trimmed.
Oh, good Lord.
Yes, I forgot that there was that option.
Like,
stop fucking trimming shit. I've been looking at fucking grading cards all day, and the amount of people trimming shit because they think it looks good is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
it doesn't look good.
Well, so
like we can't fucking see that shit. Like,
yeah,
do you not know this is 2021? We can zoom in and see what the centering is supposed to be.
Yep.
Like,
so now it's off center too.
Yeah, so I know some people who like Frankenstein books together. Like they will go like, oh, let me find like a cover, let me find like, you know, part of a wrap here, part. So it sounds like this is what ultimately somebody did to produce this, is that they repoed the cover, they took pieces from one copy, pieces from another copy, and sandwiched them together. Them doing that, they probably had maybe a couple $100 into this book. I wouldn't necessarily want to buy it at 6Gs, but it ain't a bad idea to Frankenstein a book together. I know people have had that idea with, and even motherfuckers have gotten away with doing it on Hulk 81s.
You don't do that. You leave it as it is.
I mean, but if you're talking a bunch of incomplete pieces and like this is the closest you're ever going to get, like if you're not planning on if you weren't planning on selling it and you just were like, I'm trying to piece together like,
so you're gonna fuck up a piece of history.
Well, that's the thing, though. If it was already in pieces,
that's
what I'm saying. It was already in pieces.
The Met needs to see this, man. If you ever see this dude and he sees you around the fucking paintings, no, rest this man because he's gonna fucking all that shit. You know who you are? You're the dude. You're like the lady who walks into the museum and says, "I don't like that picture of Jesus," and takes some fucking acid.
No. What I'm saying is that
just fucks it all up.
It's one thing to take a book that was complete and you called yourself trying to improve it, but like. Somebody basically, and I think Nico's talked about this before, And like I know cats who have done this with Golden Age, is that they're like they found a wrap here, they found a piece there, or whatever. Like the book was in pieces, and like they Frankenstein together, where it's like, oh, I've got somebody had half of a book here, somebody's got another half of a book here. I'm gonna Frankenstein it together, so I just have a complete copy. Because that's what happens when
there are pieces of the Bible all over the place. They don't fucking take glue and freaking reproduce their shit and say, "Oh, here's the fucking Bible." No, they leave it in fucking pieces and they slap it together.
Again, if like we're talking about the Bible versus the comic book, and I mean, if this is the closest you ever gonna get to having a copy, and I'm not saying go out and buy something that's been Frankenstein together, but like if this is like we're talking like pieces of like a Tech 27. And somebody's like, "Oh yeah, like here, $100, I'll sell you like, these 3 wraps of the book." And somebody else has another like 4 wraps of the book, and then like you Frankenstein a book together. You now have a complete copy. Yeah, it wasn't how it came off the show, but would you prefer those to be floating around as just separated wraps from their original copy?
Like, people sell that shit all the time. You can look all the time. People, Amazing Fantasy number 15s, like half a panel on a page, $1,000. Shit.
But if this was like something that you built for yourself, like how are we to know that maybe this got like sold after somebody died or whatever? Like somebody who's a kid in the 1970s Frankenstein this book together just to have a copy, and then they passed away, and somebody was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and sell this shit." Like we don't know the true story behind it, but it sounds like somebody Frankenstein the book together to have a copy potentially, and I'm okay with that. Like if that's the best you could do. Yeah, I mean, like that's on whoever bought it. But like, if you were that kid who going around the shows and stuff in local comic book shops, and it was like, oh, where your homeboy ripped the book in half in 1982, and he still has like the last 2 wraps, and then like this local comic book shop or eBay had like wraps like for pages like 31 through like whatever. Fuck yeah, Frankenstein that book together, and be proud that you got you a copy.
So at the comic shop,
that's on you.
At the comic shop, the kid goes, "Sir, what does that NG mean?" "Oh, it means nice grade."
All right, so before we move on, so 58% of the audience chose the Detective Comics number 12, and then the 42% chose the Detective Comics 31. But let's go ahead and move on to our next set of books, because I think I only have a couple left. All right, yep. So I have a couple more left. All right. So we have a special Marvel edition 15 that's sold for $3,938 versus a Iron Fist number 14 CGC 9.6 that sold for $3,500.
Jesus.
So, yeah, I know, right? So hold up your signs for first appearance of Shang-Chi, or first Modern Playbook symbol for the first appearance of Sabretooth, right?
Yep.
All right. 3, 2, 1. All right. Let's go with Joe and Chris.
Oh man.
You want to go first?
Yeah, I mean that's pretty cheap compared to what they were going for, like a 9.6. It looks like white pages too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it is white pages. Like you buy on the dip. Like he's already in the MCU, man. Like he did a pretty good job. I thought it was a good movie. Like he's gonna be in another movie and another one. Right? So like, man, all I could think about with Iron Fist is that shitty show on Netflix, like with the that's Danny Rand character or whatever.
The kid with the blonde fro.
Yeah, dude, like that was bad, and like the karate and all that crap was weak as shit.
Yeah,
and maybe like unless you got to think at some point they're probably going to do. Yeah, I saw that, and it's not pressed. Yeah, like whatever. But think Sabretooth, man, like, dude, I just think the Iron Fist. I mean, a 9.6, like, Colbert, like you buying up 9.6s, bro. Like this is in your wheelhouse, man.
That is, and you're absolutely right at everything that you just said about Shang-Chi. It's like he's in the MCU. He's going to be coming back sooner than later. I mean, we could see him as soon as, next year in somebody's random Disney Plus series. Something about, and I'm kicking myself for when these were really on the low of not scooping up Iron Fist 14s. Like, yeah, Sabretooth's been done in live action. Sabretooth is one of those characters that if you do Wolverine, you kind of got to do Sabretooth. And even when some of the portrayals on the Fox side weren't that great, it still was a solid Sabretooth representation. Like that first one, Taylor Mane in the first X-Men movie, if nothing else from the look of the character, it was a well done portrayal. And I think somebody made it. I think Wonderworld said in the comments he has potential to be one of the most captivating mutants in the MCU when that happens. It's just his look, a comic book accurate costume. I don't know, man. I just think that Sabretooth is just one of them characters that even if he doesn't get his day in the sun for another 10 years, his books will probably just hold value. This book will probably just hold value. Because if you're a 90s kid, it's Wolverine and Sabretooth. It's just that's the 1-2 combination. And though Shang-Chi is an MCU and will get more opportunities to be in more stuff, it just don't resonate like Sabretooth do. Sabretooth is one of those villains where it's yeah, you don't spec on villains, but you can kind of spec on you can trust Doom, you can trust Sabretooth, and you can trust, Magneto to be captivating and to draw people's attention and to be, to stick around for a time. So that's my argument for going forward, because I think he's got way more upside left in the future.
I'm changing my choice.
So the reason why I chose the Shang-Chi first appearance of that was we were just all at this con at Baltimore, and I was actually looking for around the 9.2 was where I was priced at, to try to trade, a modern book or whatever. And I figured it would be a good time because it's on the dip and stuff like that. Nope, not at that con. People were at for a 9.2. Someone was asking 2,500, I want to say, for a 9.2, and then which I thought was completely insane because I could sit there right there on eBay and buy one for 1,200.
Look, fucker.
It's I can buy one right now for 1,200, literally, right now, and not even have to worry about it transporting to my house or whatever, So why are you asking, every almost what a 9.6 is going for? I mean, but easily a 9.4. So to me that was just insane, to see what people were trying to charge on some books. I mean, because obviously you have to know what you're shopping for and not just pull the trigger on everything you see just because it's right there in front of you. It was the only thing why I brought this.
I don't know what some of those dudes were there for. Because they were obviously weren't there to make money.
Yeah, fucking pussies, dude.
Yeah. Well, and then there was money to be made too there. I mean, because there were some big spenders. There's so many booths that I heard that had a successful weekend, all weekend. So, yeah.
Hey, I got a chance to meet Red Hood Comics. The one that wanted me to change my name. So I gave him my card here, if you need any pressing. And he goes, "Hey, you're the one that I messaged to change your name." And I go, "Yeah, I ain't going to do that."
Somebody tried to tell you to change your name?
Yeah, because I'm Red Hood Comic, right? And people have been trying to get a hold of me, have been calling him. And so he was all butthurt about it. Oh, it's, what's his name, Aaron?
I don't know his name, but his story is Red Hood Comics, or something like that, right?
Yeah, and I'm one
so
word.
Some fucking random dude.
Nah, he's a seller. He's a seller. He's a big time seller.
He's an East Coast seller.
Yeah, so I go, Phil was right there, and I go, "Hey, well, are we gonna have a problem?"
Hey, Aaron, do me a favor. That's still only 25 cents comment. Can we stop calling him Shang-Chi?
Oh yeah. What about it?
Hey, so for
You want to
people
highlight
that
it?
yeah, highlight it real quick. Hey, so what you got to understand is, and go back to the movie, listen very carefully to every time somebody in his family says his name. They say it different ways. They said every type of way. He even says it in a different way from his mom, and each of those ways was for a different area and location from inside China, whether it be Mandarin, Szechuan, or whatever. So there's different ways to say it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Very true. Like, there's so many dialects in China. I mean, the most two well known are, obviously Mandarin and Cantonese, but there's several more different dialects. But the interesting fact is that you read all the characters the same.
Mm. Yep, good stuff. Are we done
Oh
beating
yeah,
this?
it's
this-
Rob's Comics. Rob's Comics. You know him, Lucas?
Do I know Rob's comics? Yeah, I
Yeah.
met him at the con.
Yeah, that's the one. He calls himself Red Hood Comics.
All right, so I wanted to bring this back up because it had been a few months, and then we're right around the corner from Hawkeye. So I found, as close as I could, recent dates of books being sold for this. So we have Hawkeye #9, second print, that sold for $1,450 Canadian, versus the Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur #1, 1 in 25, 9.6, that sold for $900. So I couldn't find a 9.8 that sold up recently, so this is the best I could do. And yeah, and I said I would bring it back, and so I brought it back. And I even tried finding a 9.6. Yeah.
So it looks like Moon Girl is dipping, right? Because I remember when it was going for 2 racks.
Yeah, it's definitely down.
Right.
Yeah.
What's up with the Hawkeye 9 second print? Nothing?
It's just rare. It's just rare, and it's that purple combo. It's playing off of the typically purple that you see on, like, the purple and white that you see on these Hawkeye covers from this run.
Yeah, I don't think anything special happens in that story,
Oh,
from what I remember.
Thank God Image is going to stop doing second and third and fourth and fifth. All those fucking bullshit fucking prints. Thank God. Save the tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
wasn't Image
a bad buy?
Yeah, wasn't Image doing something before, like, where they were doing weird qualifiers for their, like, later printings?
Possibly.
I know. Yeah. Well, I know some of them. It'd be like, oh, if you get 5, then you get 1 of this one, and then who does House of Slaughter? Is it Boom Studios or some shit?
Yeah. Boom.
Yep,
yeah,
that's Boom.
They're doing one where if you get 10 of the purple foil joints, like, intermixes like a red one or some shit like that, and it's not good art or anything. Big discount on that Moon Girl, like $250 off.
Yeah.
What are you typing, Aaron?
I'm typing out the for the poll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just think, like, it's so fluid right now. Like, you can flip the Hawkeye, like, very quickly. Like, I think Nico. I thought
you
Nico,
have to sell it. You have to sell it by November.
Yeah, but, like, I think it's going to be I think that show's going to be a hit, man.
I think it will be too, but, like, I just don't think this is the book you want to get stuck on the bag on. Like, I think really, like, people, like, the gimmick of it is really what moved it, and we as, like, speculators may have played a factor in that, but realistically, at this money, you just need to go get her first appearance.
I get that, but like it's kind of like what we've been battling the last 3 or 4 weeks. Like, how many 9/8 of this are on the census? And so that's, like, a thing. Like, people are collecting that. Low print, low census 9/8, like, exclusivity on a book. I've got it, and there's only 5 of them, and I've got 2 of them. You know what I mean? Like that's a thing.
You're right, but Jesus, I just like this translates to roughly like $1,200 American, give or take, like $30. And at that price, you can go get you a 9.8 of Young Avengers 1, which just means like a smarter buy.
Dude. Like
I couldn't force myself to go buy this Hawkeye 9 second print at $11.72 when I could go put that into, because especially at this point, like that has to be for PC. You're not going to be able to flip that for a profit potentially. I just don't see you being able to pull that off because we're too close to go time for that series. Like you got 24, you got about a month basically left before that drops. And I think that series is going to be huge between the return of, Black Widow, all the other character appearances that are going to happen. It's going to be a big series. It's going to be probably like a Loki. It's going to be a very big series for street level going forward. But I just worry about the flightiness of this hobby, especially with it coming it's going to be basically ending right around Spider-Man. So people are going to be like on to the next one, and God knows what all is going to happen in Spider-Man at this point. I just think people are going to be on to the next one. You're dealing with holidays purchasing, and this might not be on somebody's list to buy. Like, I think you just might end up getting stuck with the bag. And don't get me wrong, I ain't a big Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur fan like that, just because it's where that TV show is going to end up at. It's not going to be on Disney Plus. It's going to be on Disney Channel. And so I worry about that. But I still think at $900, that's a smarter buy long term. Like, you'll be able to recoup your damages, and that's $900 Canadian. So that's actually.
So if somebody worked a trade with you, right?
$727.
If somebody worked a trade with you, Chris, and that Hawkeye 9 was thrown in right into that trade, and then you're turning around on eBay, how much are you selling that book for, bro? What are you listing that book?
I'm probably going to start at $1,500.
Yeah, there you go, baby.
I'm going to start at 15, and I'm going to have the lower end at like 1,000.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, when you have them, like, you're commanded that kind of a price on it, and listed it on eBay, because that's a thing. You're not going to give it away.
No, right? Definitely not going to give it away. But like, you don't want to. Like, rarity is a double-edged sword.
Right.
Like, you got to have, like, it's not enough for a book just to be rare. You got to have demand, and there seems to be demand. But I've got books sitting in this box back here.
But from whom? Who?
Somebody's buying them.
Who?
I don't know.
Yeah, who the
There's
fuck
a lot of
is
crazy people
these?
in the world, Lucas. That's how I make my money, man.
Nobody knows who this chick is, man. People, Kamala Khan, right? She's coming out, like you were talking about, all the stuff that's coming up that could displace her, right? Kamala Khan, she's got some stuff coming out. Moon Girl, the Disney Channel stuff. Spider-Gwen, she's already on that crazy cartoon for kids, right? There's a whole bunch of female characters that are coming out, and I think Kate Bishop is just going to get lost in that crowd. Right?
Man, have you seen what she looks like in the outfit, bro? She ain't getting lost.
Isn't she 17?
No, she ain't 17. Come on, man.
Nah, it's not so grown. She looked a little young, but she's grown. She's like 24, 25.
Yeah, she ain't 17. Come on, man.
Her character is 17.
Yeah,
well, that don't count.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Haley Steinfeld's 24. So
I'm not getting into that. I don't want to get in trouble.
But
that sounds like a different argument for somewhere else.
I don't think it's like the character is a bad play. I think that book's a bad play. I think if you're going to do it,
then it says it's so rare it's worthless. You got to have the man rare to make the money.
Yeah, I worry about books that are rare for the sake of just being like rare. Like, there's nothing that happens in them. Like with the Moon Girl being a 1 in 25 and a first appearance. All right, cool. There's rarity. You got the first appearance backing you up, and you've got people like demanding that book. It's that Hawkeye 9 was, I think, really, let's be real about it. Like, it wasn't on my radar at all. The only reason I started acknowledging it is in the last year because of the lead up to Hawkeye. But like, I'm pretty sure I overlooked that book in like dollar bins at one point.
So like the first appearance of Grand Admiral Thrawn is Heir to the Empire 1, right?
Yes.
So I had the Matina Thrawn variant. No first appearance, right, that I know of. I got to check with Phil because Phil always finds a random character that it's his first appearance in a Star Wars book.
Mm-hmm.
But I sold that book for $3,600.
The difference is that other than Heir to the Empire, Thrawn didn't have any good books. So you're holding the bag on one of the most coveted like covers and appearances, like in the same way that like that J.G. Jones Superior Spider-Man 14, like at that point, Superior Spider or like Spider-Man 2099 didn't have a whole bunch of great covers. So if you are trying to complete like cool covers around the character, once you get past their first appearance, then you start looking at the cool cover appearances. And
That's what I'm saying. That's why that Hawkeye,
but is
like,
it that
that's a
cool
cool
of a cover
cover.
page? It's just a color. It's just a color swipe. Like legitimately, the other one was
it is, but that purple adds something to that book.
Again, I just don't personally see it. Like that's the issue. Is that I'm not yucking anybody's yum. If that's what you really care about, then buy your books, be happy with what you got. But for me personally, like first appearances are always top priority, and then I'm looking at like first number one, like first solo series, origin stories. Like I'm still like an old school collector when it comes to those type of things when I look for value. Like the later printings just aren't on my radar like that unless it's a book where the later printing is new original artwork or something like that, or a cool cover.
Fred, I thought that was issue 10.
Yeah. Is it not?
I thought it was 10.
Is it in Cameo? He goes, I am the clown on the last page, but it doesn't count.
Oh my god.
Because then the first full appearance goes in number 10. Like in 9, he goes, I'm the clown.
How big is the panel?
As big as the Wolverine one in 180.
Oh my god.
Where he goes, I am the Wolverine. This is me. I'm appearing. And it's the first time I'm doing that. But the next issue is going to be my first appearance.
I mean, it is what it is. All right. Let's go ahead and wrap it up for the night.
I thought it was
and
funny.
let us Yeah. But let us know where we can catch everyone next. Starting with you, Red Hood.
I ain't doing anything, man. I'm just like pressing bugs, dude.
Right.
Man, Baltimore smells, bro. Like, dude.
So that doesn't
I walked out of the hotel room, bro. It smelled like throw up, bro. I shit you not.
So
like,
so
I
that
was
doesn't
like,
count.
oh my
You know why?
god, dude. I was like, my eyes were watering, dude.
Have you never been to New Orleans?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, New Orleans stinks too, bro.
But Red Hood, you got to remember that it's in between 3 bad things. It's in between Orioles Park, it's in between Baltimore Ravens Park, and then at the far end is the harbor, right, where the crabs and all that other stuff are.
Yeah.
So it's got plus all the crackheads and everything. That's all freaking around there, man. My freaking guy. So I can excuse the smell, but never in my life have I seen so many Caucasian crackheads ever in one freaking place. That's freaking crazy because 2 years ago, used to be all freaking DC, freaking Baltimore crackheads. All right. Now it's a bunch of freaking fentanyl, freaking, and they all want to freaking dance for you for like $1, man. I don't care cash, man. I'm sorry. I don't want to see your little ditty dance today. I'm sorry. I'm good. But man, Baltimore still it was good to see everybody, man.
Yeah, dude. I was trying to go to that little get together that Brian, Dino had at his hotel. Mm-hmm. And so I had this, like a moron, I had my GPS out and trying to walk in. It's pitch black. I can't even see anything because they don't have any light. They don't have any light. And so I asked the crackhead, hey, and I forgot the hotel, is it that way? And he goes, oh, man, nah. But do you know what time it is? It was like, yeah, man, it's like 8:30, bro. Like, thanks for your help.
The next year we gotta have it at the hotel that I was at, man, which was the Hyatt Regency.
I stayed at the Hyatt, bro.
Ooh,
I was right across the street, man.
So the best part about it is you go right out the door. I'm talking about the back end, and the freaking thing is right there. Especially if you're a freaking retailer, like if you're a retailer, your door to enter is like 400 feet away from the entrance. If you're just a regular person, it's like around the corner, and then you're in, man. And the reason why I say that we got to have it there is because there is a bar on the third floor of that bad boy
Yeah.
with enough room that would have been enough room for us, and we could have fucking got our eat on or all that freaking stuff. We could have fucking chilled out, and
Hey,
that should have
did
been
you
where.
get any food from that third floor restaurant?
Yes.
Dude, they made a badass steak, bro.
Ooh, nice.
So that chef that was working there, he's good, dude. Like, shout out to him, man.
Dude, honestly, I might stay at the casino next time
The
I
horseshoe.
go.
That's so far though. That's so fucking far.
I mean, like
everything.
it was like
you want to freaking take a taxi every single time.
Yeah, I mean, it was like a 5-10 minute ride in the Uber, so it wasn't too bad.
Yeah. But yeah, once again, man, it was great seeing everybody, man. Except for that hopefully they won't have the two freaking lines, because there was the vaccine line, the vaccination line, and then the ticket line.
Man, I couldn't believe how many people were getting vaccinated, dude.
Yeah, so that's a crazy thing, because gotta remember, in order to get in, and I mean, even just to get your freaking ticket, you had to have either your vaccine or you had to have your negative test. So what they were letting people do is they were letting people get vaccinated inside, or right outside on the left hand side, you could get your test done outside that motherfucker. So to me, that freaking negates everything, because okay, I just got my fucking vaccine. I could still have the fucking COVID while I'm fucking get my vaccine on. I'm still walking around, shit. And then there was times when like, because my sister and her brother-in-law came in, right? So I decided to get them tickets, right? But of course, I gotta have the vaccine. So I had their vaccine in a photo. So I just walked up to the lady and said, "Hey, here's the photo of my sister's shit and my brother-in-law shit." And she's like, "Oh, here you go. So here's the deal. Okay, now I got these little fucking wristbands. I don't have to give it to my sister and her fucking brother-in-law. I can give it to any fucking random person." Which I should have did. I should have showed that sold that shit for like $20 in that long ass line that was going around the fucking corner. Shit.
Well, man, yeah, I mean, it was crazy because like people were like lined up for that like for most of the day. It seemed like.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I was like.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah. All right. Hey, so Lucas, what's your next show?
Drunken Chat, I believe, unless some other crazy show fucking pops up in between now. No, wait. Cinema Halloween. I don't know what day that is, but Comic Crusaders has some type of Cinema Halloween shit happening throughout the week. So I'll be popping in and out of that shit, and then Drunken Chat will be happening on Saturday morning at 12 o'clock in the morning.
Sounds good.
Midnight.
Where can we catch you next, Mercenot?
I should be doing a haul sometime between now and Saturday. And I have some incredible Hulk spec I'll be talking about. Also some spider spec I'll be talking about. So stay tuned, keep your eyes peeled, all that hot shit.
Cool. And then Chris, we have the Prospect 10 tomorrow, and then I don't remember what our topic is, but I'm sure we'll have something good.
I want to say tomorrow we're doing if anybody's a kid of the 80s and the 90s, you remember on TV the very special episode, type of stuff, like, drug abuse, bullying, all that good shit. So tomorrow we're going to be talking about, treating new people to the hobby like human beings.
Okay. There it was. That's going to be an exciting topic to talk about.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll dig into that, but like just, a little food for thought. You didn't come into this hobby with all the knowledge in the world. Don't shit on people who are just trying to learn also. So, but we're going to dig into that. Like definitely making assumptions about common knowledge and things like that in the hobby, and what it is to be new in the hobby and get run off by people who are gatekeeping on you.
Shit, I still get picked on, man. You know what I mean? Aaron's one of the biggest culprits. Aaron picks on me like a mother, man.
Yeah, it's my nature.
Hey, you know what? How many people in Baltimore didn't have their books priced? Like, how are you going to do a show?
Most of them,
and not have your books priced, bro?
Either they didn't have the books priced, or they had post notes so they could rip that shit off real quick.
Yeah, dude, that's some
Yeah.
cheesy shit, dude. There was one guy from Carolina.
Okay,
and
so
yeah.
the guy, okay, so you take the book out of the back
Oh yeah,
issue
it wasn't
box,
priced.
you take it up to him, and what happens?
Oh, he goes, oh man, this book goes for about $8 or $9, $10. And I go, really? I thought it went for 3 or 4 or 5.
Mm.
You know,
So it was funny.
like,
I had a situation where this guy had a half off box, and I was pulling out books, which we'll probably do a pickup video this weekend. And I'll say I won't say what books they were, so I'll leave it for suspense on that. But they were marked as $40 each, and the other one was marked as $10. And then I got them for the half off price. So like he actually honored his like what his sign said, but he did mention like he's like, man, as soon as I saw you pull those out of there, I was kicking myself. And then but he's like, I'm gonna honor the price. I was like,
yeah,
tight.
like, how are you not going to look through your shit, dude? Like, and how are you not going to price your stuff, dude? That's some pussy shit, dude. Just making up. Well, that's about $10. I go, would be $10 if it was like mint. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. So I guess as a final thought, make sure to price your stuff, or we'll dig them out and make sure that you hold up to your price.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Catch y'all on the flip side.